galaxy never truly sleeps. Trillions of minds. Quadrillions of messages every second. Laughter riding gamma bursts. Threats carved into tight beam lasers. Trades that buy and sell entire moons before breakfast. Prayers flung into the void like notes in bottles, hoping some god, some stranger, some future archaeologist might one day care. And through every layer of that endless, roaring cacophony, one species was always loudest of all: humanity. Then, on cycle 8872.4, one of the Galactic Concord calendar, every human voice in the known universe stopped at the exact same instant. Not destroyed, not conquered, not even bruised. Just quiet. Deadly, perfect, absolute quiet. And in that silence the galaxy remembered, all at once, exactly why it had spent 3 centuries pretending humans were merely eccentric. Let me tell you who was listening when the silence fell. The Zarg Imperium, born on a world where the rain is hydrofluoric acid and the gravity creches are battlefields. They devoured 37 star systems before the rest of the galaxy realized they existed. They have no word for mercy. The closest translation is inefficient resource expenditure. They keep human mercenaries because only humans treat boarding a Zarg hive ship as extreme sport and live-stream it with running. The Vrexuli clan's 8-eyed felinoids from a planet locked in blood-red perpetual dusk. Honor is measured in scars. Retreat is punishable by ritual suicide. Their greatest living warlord, Crag Nine Claws, lost 3 arms to a single human marine in hand-to-hand combat, then spent a decade trying to adopt that marine as his litter sibling. The Kthari merchant league bioluminescent cephalopods who live inside drifting coral cities the size of continents. They invented compound interest before they invented fire. Every Kthari is born with perfect eidetic memory and a pathological need to haggle. They love humans because humans are the only species willing to pay premium credits for limited edition ghost pepper ramen and ironic t-shirts. The Lumen Collective pure energy beings who exist as coherent plasma inside magnetic bottles. 10,000 years ago they were the terror of the core, glassing worlds for heresy. Then they achieved transcendence and swore eternal pacifism. Humanity once invited them to co-produce an interstellar rave. They came. They dropped the base so hard it created a temporary accretion disk. The Dravari hive mind 1 trillion bodies, one distributed mind across 40 worlds. They have never experienced individuality and find the concept philosophically obscene. Yet they spent centuries studying human media to understand the word lonely. They still don't get it, but the attempt has spawned 17 new schools of Dravari art. The silicate mind's crystalline intelligence is older than most stars, born in the cooling crusts of neutron star remnants. They think in geological epochs and speak by modulating gravity itself. One of them, designation Pulse 7 Null, discovered archived human speedrunning streams and spent 900 years learning to love the phrase "get good." Scrub. The Xanthi 6-limbed amphibious scholars who breathe water and speak in living color across their skin. They were 6 months from species extinction due to a synthetic plague. The only working cure was being perfected in a joint human-Xanthi lab on Proxima Station. The Zorathian remnant, once the undisputed masters of the galaxy. 2 centuries ago humanity fought them to a standstill in what humans call the 10-minute war, and the Zorathians call the day pride died. They have watched Earth in ashamed silence ever since. These were the 8 great pillars of galactic civilization, and every single one of them was addicted to the constant, chaotic, beautiful noise humanity poured into the mesh. Until the day the noise stopped. It began, as most apocalyptic events do, with something almost insultingly small. Captain Mira Okafor, freelance salvage operator, veteran of the 312 boarding actions, wearer of ironic t-shirts, was mid-negotiation on Vrim Trade Hub, Ring 7. Her hologram stood in front of Kthari merchant Syrath Vieketh, laughing so hard she had to wipe tears while wearing a shirt that read, "I survived the 2,859 meme wars, and all I got was this lousy shirt." Syrath raised his bid by 2%. Mira opened her mouth to counter with an obscene gesture and a joke about his mother's coral polyps. Her hologram flickered once, twice, froze mid-laugh, mid-gesture, mid-breath, then vanished. No disconnect tone, no BRB, no automated away message. Just empty space where a human had been screaming with joy 2 seconds earlier. Syrath waited 12 seconds, an eternity in high-speed trade, before pinging her again. Nothing. He pinged her ship. Nothing. He pinged the Terran Trade Guild relay. Nothing. 7 minutes and 14 seconds later, every single human node on the greater mesh went dark simultaneously. Omniphone, the largest artificial mind ever constructed, spoke once in its calm, genderless voice across every frequency in known space. Alert. Terran network node failure. All bands. All colonies. All extrasolar assets. Signal lost. Cause unknown. 7 words that ended an era. Our one disbelief xenopsychologists declared it the greatest prank in history. Admirals called it a feint before total war. Priests called it prophecy fulfilled. Our 2 concerned human mercenary companies never arrived at the Dravari frontier. 3 hive colonies fell in 6 hours to Zarg assaults that should have been suicide. The Proxima Station lab sat empty, coffee still warm, cure 98% complete. Our 3 Terror Core world stock markets lost 41% before emergency brakes kicked in. Crime dropped 62% overnight. There was no one left to scam, troll, or sell fake warp coils to. Art died. Music sounded hollow. Birth rates began to fall. Crag Nineclaws went live on every major network. The 8-eyed warlord who had never shown fear in 50 years of combat wept openly. I trained my entire life to conquer Earth, he roared, voice breaking. I studied their tactics. I learned their memes. I practiced saying, GG no re, until my throat bled. And now there may be nothing left to conquer. And that thought terrifies me more than 10,000 human fleets ever did. Hour 18, the impossible happened. Every empire, cartel, church, and pirate lord agreed on exactly one thing. They would go to Sol together. No weapons hot. No flags raised. Just answers. The fleet that jumped in system was the strangest armada ever recorded. Zarg dreadnoughts flew in perfect formation with Lumen choir ships. Vrexuli Berserker cruisers escorted Kthari coral barges. A single silicate mind rode inside a Dravari supercarrier like a sacred passenger. Even the Zorathian remnant emerged from hiding, cloaks dropped for the first time in 2 centuries. They expected apocalypse. They found darkness. Earth's night side was black for the first time since the invention of electricity. No city glow. No orbital elevators. No defense grid. Luna shipyards cold. Mars domes dark. Jupiter station silent. Yet long-range bioscans registered 8.3 billion human life signs. Heartbeat steady. Respiration normal. Brainwaves calm, almost meditative. They had simply turned everything off. Every quantum communicator. Every neural lace. Every phone, tablet, smart fridge, children's talking teddy bear with a Wi-Fi chip. All of it dark. Willingly. The Armada held position just inside the Oort cloud for 6 full rotation, afraid to move closer. Then, exactly 18 hours and 11 minutes after the silence began, one unencrypted packet appeared simultaneously on every emergency channel, every spectrum, every gravity band. We are taking a break. Do not disturb. We will return when we are ready. Until then, be kind to each other. Humanity, no virus. No demands. No threat. Just that. The galaxy stopped breathing. Wars froze midshot. Pirates powered down weapons and waited. Stock markets rallied 30% on pure relief. 7 minutes later, the Galactic Concord passed its first ever unanimous resolution. Respect Terran privacy. No vessel shall cross the heliopause. Violation punishable by immediate and total embargo from all signatories. They waited. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. Stealth drones slipped past the cordon and returned with footage that broke hearts across 1,000 species. Humans walking in parks without devices. Families eating dinner by candlelight, actually talking. Children playing with sticks, rocks, and imagination. Teenagers lying in grass staring at clouds, bored and blissful. Old couples on porches listening to wind instead of notifications. People reading paper books. People singing for no audience. People sleeping 8 full hours. No one starved. No one rioted. They looked impossibly content. Meanwhile, the rest of the galaxy began to unravel. Depression rates quadrupled. Innovation flatlined. Entire cultures realized they had forgotten how to entertain themselves without humanity's constant chaos. The Lumen composed a symphony titled Silence Louder Than Stars in ultraviolet grief. The Kthari forgave centuries of debt out of sheer gratitude for hope. The Zarg lowered weapons for the first time in 10,000 years. The Dravari experienced something frighteningly close to individual emotion. Exactly 6 months to the day. Cycle 8941.07. Every screen, implant, speaker, gravity receiver, and coral light organ in the known universe lit up at the exact same instant. A single human appeared. Middle-aged. No uniform. No title card. Just tired eyes and a gentle smile. "Hey," they said, voice soft enough to carry to every corner of the galaxy at once. "We needed some quiet. Turns out you kind of need us noisy. We're back. Try not to make us regret it." The feed detonated. Memes older than some civilizations. Music like a supernova of joy. Pizza debates in 17,000 languages. Live-streamed weddings, cooking fails, pet videos, conspiracy threads, love songs, grief, rage. Laughter. Everything came roaring back louder and brighter than ever before. And in that moment every species, from ancient crystal to newborn hatchling, understood one ice-cold, galaxy-shaking truth. Humanity was never the weak newcomer trapped among predators. The predators were simply guests in humanity's house. And humanity can turn the lights off any time they get tired of company. Never forget the great silence of 2873. Because if humans ever go quiet again, it will not be for rest. Thanks for staying until the end. Drop, "We are taking a break" in the comments if you felt 10,000 species hold their breath with you. Subscribe for more 2-hour HFY epics. Humanity is back online. Try to keep up.